How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Simplicity. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and if you are brand new to the channel, we're all about putting your brand, business and impact online through social media marketing. So maybe you want to quit that 9-to-5 job, start a side hustle, create a business that you love, then click that big red button down below to join the #1 channel on YouTube of how you can turn your dream into a career. In today's video, I really want to dive deep into my CPM and RPM and really show you guys just how much it can vary from video to video. And I really want to help to explain to you guys why some videos can make actually a lot more money than others. And this can be based on a topic, this can be based on your audience and lots of other key things. Let's jump onto my computer and I'll show you what I mean. Hey guys, so we're on my analytics and I just want to go through the CPM and RPM that I'll be getting from my previous videos to really kind of show you guys just how much they can actually vary, and then we can actually explain exactly why this is and how you can actually make videos that are going to make you more money, which is really important. If you're trying to make money from YouTube, you want to make sure that you're creating the right kind of videos that are going to make you the best money for your time, and this actually means that you can generate less views to earn the same amount of money. So I want to run through a few of my videos just to really kind of compare the RPM and CPM on these. So for example, if we look at how to save more money working at minimum wage, let's have a look here. And if we click on analytics and I want to click on revenue. Okay, so for this particular video, we can see here that my playback based CPM was $5.06 and my RPM was $2.19. So just to quickly explain, if you don't know what CPM and RPM is, CPM stands for cost per mille, which means cost per 1,000 views. Now your CPM is not the money that you're making per 1,000 views. This is the amount that the advertisers are paying per 1,000 views. You may or may not be aware, but YouTube does take a percentage of the ad revenue, which of course it does because it is. And because it's a business, it needs to be making money for it to be profitable and for it to keep maintaining the business. So we can see here that $5.06 is what the advertiser is paying per 1,000 views on this video. Based on that, my RPM, which is the revenue per 1,000 views that I actually get paid. So from this $5.06, YouTube takes a cut of 45% and then I get the other 55%. So we can see here that I'm making $2.19 per every 1,000 views for this particular video. If you do want a more in-depth video about RPM, I will link that in the cards and I'll link it in the description if you want to go ahead and check out that video. I explained it in a lot more detail, so definitely check that one out. Let's just remember that this one was $5 for the CPM roughly and $2 for the RPM. So if we go back to videos and let's do the how to start a YouTube channel. Let's see what this one is like. So analytics and we go to revenue. Okay, so this is a very interesting example. This one had a higher CPM playback of $6.49, yet for some reason my RPM was only 50 cents. So we went from about $2.19 to 50 cents that I'm getting per 1,000 views. Now, as you can imagine, this particular RPM is really, really low, yet the CPM on this one is actually a lot higher, which, to be perfectly honest, is very, very confusing. And I've looked at this video quite a few times and it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense why that is. I think for this particular video, those aren't very accurate because the actual money I made from this video was actually pretty decent, yet my RPM says it was only 50 cents. So I think this is when RPM just came in. I'm not really too sure, but interesting to look at to really compare. So if we go back again here, let's do the how much did I make for what was my CPM for Teespring? See, now this is an interesting example. My playback CPM for my Teespring video was $12.88, and the money that I was making back on that for my RPM was $6.79. Now for me, this is a pretty high CPM. For the kind of niche that I'm doing, I would expect to have an RPM of around about, well, they can vary, so it's hard to say, but I do know that people in my similar niche are making around about $7 for the RPM. So this gives me a more accurate idea of the kind of RPM I can be making when it's based on this type of topic. So if it's something about making money, if it's something about how you can earn money through Teespring, whether it's through YouTube, whatever it might be, if it's related to revenue and it's something that you can make money from, or it's teaching people how to make money and in a way can be generating YouTube money because they can put money type ads on that video, the advertisers are going to be paying paying a lot more for that. So you can see for this particular video, advertisers are willing to pay $12.88 for this kind of video, because for making money type ads, they're willing to pay a lot more per 1,000 views because it's worth more to them, because they actually make better profits from those ads. Whereas if it's just a standard kind of sale ad with a cheap type product where they're not going to make much money from, then they're not really willing to pay more for their ads. So the advertisers are going to pay less, and therefore you make less for those ads. So what you really need to be aware of, different types of ads go on different types of videos. So you're not going to go ahead and put a money making type ad on a video about Lego. It just doesn't really make sense. So the type of topic your video is about will be really going to determine the type of advertisers that are going to go on your video. And how it works is advertisers are going to pay the premium that they can to get their ads on the best quality of content. So particularly a video, advertisers are willing to pay a lot more, and they're probably still getting a pretty good deal for $12.88 as opposed to another video where they might have had to pay $18 to go on that kind of video. So you can see here's the much higher CPM. If we go back again here, all right, let's have a look at my first paycheck. We go to revenue here. Okay, once again, it's dropped down again. So this one was $4.32 the advertisers were willing to pay per 1,000 views, and I was making about $2.55 per 1,000 views. Now this is quite interesting, because you're going to be thinking, well, this is about money. Why are the advertisers not paying as much? Well, this can come down to a lot of factors. What you need to realize is it's not just about the topic. It comes down to who your audience is and who you're actually targeting. So if all of my audience was based in the United States, then I'm going to have a higher CPM as opposed to if my audience is based in a third world country, or if a large portion of my audience is of an underage that don't have less buying power, then advertisers are not going to be willing to pay as much for those ads to be placed on your video. So there's a number of reasons as to why that will be. If we actually have a look here at the audience, I'm pretty sure we'll find, as we can see here, Philippines and India was my highest two. So therefore that tells me straight away that because my audience was not based in the United States or Canada or Australia or New Zealand, they're not willing to pay as much to be advertised on this video. They'd rather spend their money elsewhere where they know the results are going to be better. So we click back here again. I want to go ahead and compare another video. Okay, make money with affiliate marketing. Let's see what this one was like. Okay, so once again, surprise, surprise, the CPM was $11.70 and the RPM on this was $7.10. So that's kind of where the kind of RPM that I'll be hoping for is around about $6 to $8 is what I'm aiming for with my videos. But as you can imagine, you can't always be making the same kind of content. I do like to mix it up, make sure that I'm making videos for my subscribers to gain new subscribers, all of those kinds of things. So you can really start to see that the reason the CPM is higher on this is because the advertisers are willing to pay more because they know that the results are going to be better on this video as opposed to a video that has no relation to what their ad is about. That one, Google and YouTube aren't going to put ads on videos that don't make sense. So if your video doesn't really relate to sales or to money or to advertising and things like that, generally you're not going to get the higher paid ads on your video because it just wouldn't make sense for the advertiser, and they're going to be wasting money showing their ads on your video. So it's really, really important to think about a few things if you want to get the most that you possibly can out of your RPM and your CPM for your videos. One is the topic. The topic is the most important thing. If you want to be making the best amount of money, you need to think about topics that advertisers are, one, going to want to pay a lot of money to be on that video, and two, they're going to get a good response from that video because it relates to what they're advertising. So it's really important to remember that, guys, that your topic is really important, but not just that, it comes down to who your audience is. So the actual advertiser, and most likely YouTube and Google, are going to look at your target audience is, and that will really determine what the advertiser is willing to pay for that. The advertiser doesn't really get to choose where their videos display. Yes, they do have the option to choose that, but most people just want the best bang for their buck, and then Google decides where that ad should be displayed. So basically the advertiser says, I'm willing to pay this much, I'm willing to have a bid strategy, and I'm willing to go as high as $11.70 per 1,000 views. And then YouTube or Google is going to find the best video that's going to give them the best results for their money. All right, we might try have a look at one more here just to really kind of compare that. Okay, so this one isn't too bad, but it's definitely getting a little bit lower than what I'd like. I mean, they can range from $3 to $8. Anything less than $2 is really, really low. In this example, the playback based CPM was $7.76, and the money that I was receiving per 1,000 views was $3.35. One thing you do need to remember is that views don't really play a part in how much the advertiser is willing to pay, because they can kind of see how your video does and what kind of views that it gets. But at the end of the day, the advertiser is willing to pay that per 1,000 view mark, and then YouTube is gonna place it on the appropriate video. Okay, and then the last one I wanna look at is, if we look at my earn $600 one, I believe this one should be a little bit better. Okay, so this one is definitely getting higher, not as high as I have seen, but it is definitely a little bit better than the last video that we looked at. The playback based CPM is $9.73. and the RPM is $4.76. Again, we can see that if it is relating to earning money online, how to make sales and things like that, generally the CPM is going to be higher, but you can't go ahead and find a video that, let's say you've watched my videos and you see that this particular video, for example, makes $9.73 per 1,000 views. You can't guarantee that if you create this video, you're going to get the same CPM. It comes down to a lot of factors. More importantly, it comes down to the audience that you have, and of course it does come down to the topic and the niche that you have. So if you have quite high authority in your particular niche, then advertisers are willing to pay more money for that, because that they know that the views that they'll be getting will be that people are invested in what you have to say, and then they're more likely to pay more money to be seen on your video. Right guys, so that was the quick little video of my RPM and CPM based on about 5 or 6 of my videos. I really wanted to show you guys just how much they can vary, and to really explain why they vary so much and what you can do to actually earn more money per 1,000 views. So the main thing I want you to take away from this video is the topic is really, really important. It also comes down to the authority you have in your niche. So depending on what the niche that you choose is going to really determine what kind of money you can make through advertising. And lastly, it does come down to who your audience is. So if a large percentage of your audience is based between say 20 and 40, they're going to have a lot more buying power than people from the age of 18 to 20 or 60 plus. They just don't have the same kind of money as opposed to your business professionals who have more money to spend, and therefore advertisers are willing to pay a lot more money to get in front of those people to generate more sales and more income into their own business. So I hope this video helps explain to you guys just how much CPM and RPM can vary from video to video, but not only that, can vary from channel to channel. It's really important to strategically think about, to make the best amount of money that you can for your videos, you really do need to think about what kind of videos you're creating, who the audience is going to be, and what kind of value that's going to add to your advertisers, so that you can generally make more money per 1,000 views. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to learn more tricks and tips of how to grow your YouTube channel and learning how to turn your passion into a career. If you did enjoy this video, I know you'll love these other videos. Go ahead and check those out, and I'll see you over there. Peace.